Hello, good morning, welcome along to episode 6 of the Clyde Bar podcast. I'm Rob Kane.
I'm Kyle Rappolini.
And we're joined by our fantastic guest.
I'm Pete Murphy,
Also known as?
the Pirate King.
Also known as?
Conscience.
Okay, so thanks for coming down this morning,
Not a
Pete.
problem. Fully.
Where is it you're from anyway, originally?
So I've grown up and always been sort of around Bells Hill, Uddingston, Bothwell, around that kind of
Northland in the Shire.
in the Shire. Yeah. almost in the country, but you can still smell the shite. So it's
But I can taste it from here as well. So tell me a wee bit about your background, mate, because listen, here at the podcast, we don't just like to bring guys who have been going for years and years. How long have you been doing comedy for, Pete?
about a year and a half, just over a year and a half.
So kind of new guys, it's good to get the kind of the perspective on guys coming into the scene. I got a few questions I want to ask you about coming into the scene.
Okay.
Kyle, into ask the big man this morning.
Oh, the big man. Well, to be honest, where did you start out?
Comedy wise.
Comedy-wise, yeah. We'll get into your history soon enough.
I'm a product of Ultra Comedy, the charity organisation that gives you some training. Training we got was with the wonderful Viv G, who can't say enough good things about. You get 8 weeks training. You build your 5 with Viv's help. You raise some money, and then you get a gig at the end of it. I get into Ultra because my daughter, you met Kaylee?
Yes. She sat front and centre at one of my gigs.
I think you think it was my gig. She got diagnosed with ovarian cancer just at the back end of 2023. And the Beatson were fantastic. She got a surgery. She's all right now, touch wood. She got a surgery, done a chemo. The Beatson were fantastic with her and fantastic with me and her mum, because when you get news like that, your whole world falls away.
Whole family's affected.
So can he do enough good things for the Beatson? So I saw this opportunity. They also do like the ultra boxing and the ultra MMA. I'm too old and broken to do that. So I thought I'll stand up on a stage and talk shite for 5 minutes. Managed to raise a couple of grand for the Beatson, done
Amazing.
the 5, and at that point I was done. It was a kind of tick box done, raise the money. It wasn't I want to be a comedian, it was I want to raise some money. And then I ended up, we went to see some other people for Ultra. The Rum Shack, the one that Fergus runs.
Aye.
Fergus and Tia. And we were just sitting in the audience, which had a nice curry upstairs, and Fergus came and sort of went, we tap on the shoulder, and I went, I've had a couple of people drop out tonight. He goes, a couple of guys backstage said you can day 5. I'm like, well, all right. So I haven't done it, and that was it. It was kind of...
Caught the bug.
It was, well, at that, John Carruthers and Cubby were on that show, and they said, oh, can you come and do yours? And then just, you know what it's like, it just...
Aye, just
goes
snowball,
everywhere, just-
snowball effect. So what do you think from a new guy kind of coming in and doing your 5 and stuff? Do you think it was because you've got kind of background in performance as well, haven't
Yes.
you? Tell us a wee bit more about that first before I ask the question.
So, I was a professional wrestler for 15 years.
What was your wrestling name?
Conscience.
Did you have one?
Sometimes, depended where you were. So, I said done that for 15 years. I went to the Scottish Wrestling Hall of Fame.
You like Scottish Big Daddy?
No, I could wrestle.
Big show.
Yeah.
Shirley Crabtree?
Oh, yeah. Well, tell you a wee sort of aside. You can cut this bit out if you want. The guy that it's not dirty, but the guy that trained me was a guy called Andre Baker, and people don't really know that name.
Wow.
But everybody that watches World of Sport, Big Daddy would come in, do the Big Daddy stuff.
I remember him as a wee boy.
A wee guy would come in, get absolutely leathered for 15 minutes, and then Big Daddy would tag in at the end, hot tag, and then everybody would go, Big Daddy's brilliant. The wee guy that would get leathered every week on World of Sport was Andre Baker.
So he's
And
like
he's like the Viv G of wrestling. He was one of the best coaches that were out.
So he's like kind of wrestling fluffer guy.
Aye, pretty much. But I know, and when I started it, the only training school, there was only 2 training schools, and we're doing in the South England. So it kind of goes back to that thing we were talking about earlier. If you want the thing, do the work. So I had to go to Kent and learn and train and do all the tours doing this there.
So going further back, why wrestling?
Oh God, you opened a can of worms. I believe it or not, I used to be quite sporty, and
What sports?
threw discus and hammer at school.
Right, okay.
Played football and rugby at county level.
Nice.
But see, I was better at the discus and hammer, so the fit when the rugby kind of fell away. I've done that for a number of years. Went from that to American football.
Amazing.
Played with East Kilbride Pirates, the Scottish national team.
What position do you play?
Defensive lineman.
Was that no Taylor Swift's boyfriend? Does he not play that position?
Yep, ripping tear,
Oh,
ripping tear.
there you go, mate. You could have been filing at Taylor Swift.
No, too skinny for me. You need to duct tape her up the back or she'd split. But played defensive line, played with East Kilbride Pirates, Scottish national team.
Amazing. But is that the Claymore? No, wasn't the Claymores?
So the Claymores were the world, well, it became NFL Europe,
Right.
how old I am. When it started, it was the World League. So we used to, we'd get little bits and pieces with the Claymores, but it was more just because you were national. As, American linemen go, I'm small.
Right.
At that time, I was 6'2", 280 pounds, but I was fast as fuck. But I was linebacker size. I wasn't a lineman size. They're damn near 7 feet tall and 400, 500 pounds. But so I done that, but the season, because it's like with grassroots sport in the UK, it's not well funded, it's not well advertised. I was starting pre-season training February, March, playing the whole season, playing the playoffs. Then the whole nations, and then if there was any sort of teams playing, coming over for tours and all that. So you weren't finishing your season in September, October, November. So you were playing the whole season, and I mostly played D-line, but if you were going on a 6-hour road trip to go and play the Warrington Warriors or whatever, not a lot of guys could gear up that amount of time to go away. So you ended up playing offensive line, and injuries just built up and all that. So it came to a point where I was already, knees and shoulders were already fucked. So I thought, you know what, I'll go and find something that's not going to beat me up as much. I went and fought for 15 years. But no, wrestling was great. Got to wrestle all over the world. Got to meet some of the big names.
Who's the biggest name you met in wrestling?
Undertaker.
Oh no way,
wow,
mate.
Undertaker's
my boy. Undertaker's my boy, mate. He's the one I don't know if I've said this.
If you know him well, Mark.
I don't know if I've said this in previous.
I do not know him well.
Did I mention this in a previous podcast where I used to give out tombstone people in school? In the school?
I think so.
That sounds entirely safe.
That's exactly what you want, though. You meet somebody like that, you're like, excuse me, can you just put me upside down and slam me against the floor, please? That'd be great.
I used to do that in school. It was good fun.
Cool. But no, I ran a training school for a wee while in Linwood, and a few of the guys that came through my training school, a few of the girls that came through my training school, where I'm now in WWE. I take no.
Right,
I never got them there. They done that off of hard work. Piper Niven.
Right, aye.
Nikki Storm.
Oh, Nikki Storm.
Big Demo, who because I kind of started up the training school. I wasn't there all the time, but most of the heavy lifting was done by a guy called Damien Mackle, who's Big Demo.
Right, aye.
He was in Sanity for a little while, spent some time in NXT.
Okay.
The Coffees, Joe Coffey and that, they came through the training school for a wee while.
Right.
He never came through my training school, but I wrestled Drew McIntyre, I think he's called now.
Really?
So on
What's his actual name? What's his actual name?
Drew Galloway.
Oh, big change, yeah.
So it's all that creative.
Just go through different types of cheeses.
So that was his.
It's going to be called Drew Camembert next week.
So I wrestled Drew on his debut. His very first match was against me at the Linwood Sports Barn.
No way.
In front of a seething 283.
Because he was the champion, wasn't he? He was
Yeah,
He's got quite big for a while.
He's still in the main event picture. I mean, he is the #1 bad guy.
He's an Ayrshire lad, isn't he? Ayrshire.
Yep. Grado came through my training school with Graham. Almost no trousers.
Still
No, he can work. He can work a bit now, but when he started off, and he'll admit it himself, he wasn't a great wrestler, but he could talk. He always had.
So, what was your finishing move then in wrestling?
I had had a couple. If I had a submission move.
Wrestler, I said.
So the fall from grace, which was. Do you watch wrestling? These wrestling guys?
Not for a while.
Razor's Edge. Remember the Razor's Edge? So it's like you take
that
them
what
as
you
if
were
you're going to powerbomb them, but you actually
Up, then
it's like
down on your shoulders.
Because the character I played, because it was a lot more character driven then. It's not as real as it is now. I was gonna. Have you seen the film Hellraiser?
Yeah.
So Pinhead from Hellraiser, but without the pins. I never had pins. So all the stuff I'd done was quite religious and symbolic and all that. So I had the guilt. Well, the guilt trip, and then I had the fall from grace, and there's another one which was like crossbody. slam, which
Kind of
became
suplex, kind of. No?
so you can
David words now.
I'll tell you when we're finished. But, you know, you put their head there, your legs there, and then you twist, throw their legs round so their legs go down the side. You sit down.
Stop
they
talking
lie
wrestling,
back.
right?
Yep. It was called the Revelation. But, yeah,
Nice, mate.
but a lot of fun.
Such a kind of interesting background. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
That's what I like to do. I like
a
to
blessed
find out,
life.
I like to find out what's behind the person, you know.
And so why'd you stop? It sounded like it was all going quite well.
Wrestling is peppered with people who hung about too long.
Welcome to the comedy world.
I have said before there are a lot of similarities between. So, but no, I was getting to 40. I had a few injuries for American football. I had a few more injuries for wrestling. I didn't want to be the guy that was hobbling about in his 50s, which I have turned into the guy who hobbles about in his 50s. But so I kind of made the promise to myself, I'm going to retire when I'm 40. I got the opportunity to wrestle at Kelvin Hall. It was one of the last big shows at the Kelvin Hall before it stopped being the Kelvin Hall. We got the okay from Glasgow City Council to ride motorbikes inside. So I got to come down to the ring on my Harley at the Kelvin Hall in front of 2,500 people, in front of all my family and friends. And if you're going to retire,
Great
that's the
style.
time to do it.
That's not a bad way to
That's
go
the
out.
time to do it.
Great
So
style.
done it. And it wasn't like a typical wrestling retirement where, yeah, I'll be back in a fortnight kind of thing. I actually stayed away for nearly 10 years.
Right.
And then one of the guys I'd trained found out that he had kidney failure, and they were doing like a show to raise some money for him until he got things sorted out. And he said, "Do you want to come back and do the show for Scotty?" I'm like, "I absolutely love to." And I'm thinking maybe announce it or be a manager or something like that, you know. So I was fine, didn't hear anything about it. Then like 2 weeks before it, he goes, so we spoke to Mike. So if you want to reach out to Mike, he'll run you through what you're doing in the tag match. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, I've been retired for 10 years. I barely lace my own shoes anymore. But no, I went and done it. I had a good night. Everybody cheered. Nobody died. Scotty made the money. Job's a good one.
They do quite a lot of tag matches in the jail and all, don't they?
Aye, well, that's certainly more full contact than professional wrestling. Aye.
That's amazing, mate. So let me ask you a question then. So as I said, you're kind of new-ish to the comedy scene. What's your kind of first impressions of Scottish comedy?
So I split into
Just be candid.
bits.
Be candid.
Be candid.
Yeah.
So Ultra's brilliant. Viv's brilliant. But having came from like the entertainment background, that first gig you get, good sound, good lights, big stage at Drygate, 300 people who are all there to clap and cheer. Nobody's there to fucking boo you, right? It's a fantastic experience, but it's not a real experience because, as you well
false
know,
economy. It's a false economy.
it's going to be a long time before you're in front of 300 people again with a mic and decent lights. So be aware if you're going down that route, manage your expectation. As far as gigs and performance, I've got this ethos: if you want the thing, do the work. So I've tried to do as many gigs as I can in as many different places as I can. I say I've only been going for a year and a half, but I think by the time I hit Christmas, I'll be at nearly 200 gigs.
Good.
And it's just being available and making yourself aware. Ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. That's another
100%.
thing.
100%.
There's a lot of good people. Like any hobby, pastime, sport, job, whatever category you're in, there's a lot of good people. There's some arseholes.
Could you name them for us, please?
Would you like that? Would you like that in alphabetical? But no, I mean it's the same.
Chronological.
There's always going to be. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's flower arranging or stand up or wrestling. There's pricks out there, and some of them are very good at the flower arranging or the wrestling or the comedy. Doesn't mean they're no pricks. But you kind of, again, old head on old shoulders. You kind of try and navigate your way around that. And you know, if somebody's like an out dick, they're going to get called on it because I'm no. I don't mind offending people. That's a bit of a hobby, but you know what I mean. There's some unnecessary dicks, and look, it's 2025. There are some unnecessarily annoying fannies out there as well.
Fair point. Kyle, you want to ask?
Not currently.
I've got one.
Right, go on. Go.
Do you find any crossover between wrestling and comedy?
Yes.
Crossover?
Yeah, so the road trips.
Yeah.
I done a bit for Kavita's magazine, which was a kind of wee origin
Aye,
story. And the thing I mentioned in that is there is a bit of crossover because when you start out wrestling, you're travelling up and down the country to do a 5-minute match or a 10-minute dart match, you know, and that's you climbing your way up the card. And there's a lot of that in comedy. You start off and you do your open mics for your 5 minutes, and then you'll maybe get an open 10 spot, and then you'll maybe get an opener 15, and then you get a bigger opener 15 and all that kind of stuff. So there is a crossover with that. There is that thing where you see people in spots and you go, how the fuck are they doing that?
Aye, I still do that, and I've been doing it for another 20 years, do you know what I mean? So
Aye, no, and again, there's a bit of a day, which is, you know, the three things that are direct crossovers. You've got the late nights, the long road trips, and the day in coke in the toilets. But I don't do the road trips anymore. But no, there is that, and it's that first couple of years is finding your voice, finding your character. So you've got material that you write, and you write it because you think it's funny.
Yep.
But it's maybe it takes you a while to be confident enough to be you, as opposed to what you think people want to hear.
So for me, doing comedy as well was like looking back. I look back. I've got a notepad like when I did Viv's course all these years ago as well. It wasn't Ultra. It was like partner Strath Clyde comedy when I did Viv's course. It was a 10-week course, and I look back. I've still got that wee notepad in about my wee Adidas kind of satchel where I used to take it about everywhere when I did comedy. And I look at like I dated it when I first started and stuff, and I look at the date like I think it's like 18th of October 2006 when I look at it, and like the first couple of jokes in it, I'm like, oh my god, it's like what the fuck was I saying? You know what I mean? So it's like somebody once said to me, you're not taken seriously in comedy until you've been going for 10 years. Because you get so many people coming and going in comedy, you get so many hobbyists coming and going, people who are think they'll try it out, people who do, no disrespect, but people who do courses like Ultra, for example, and think I'll get a shot, but then they fall away. So again, it is a hard game to get into, but it's a harder game to stay in.
Aye.
And
Like you were saying earlier, like it's something that you want to do, you work at it. You were saying earlier.
but I think for me, it starts as a hobby, but then it turns into a labour of love. And it's like, comedy is like an addiction for me, genuinely, where you said yourself, you don't get it. I'm still banging doors. I'm still constantly chapping doors. I set up a couple of gigs, and I've had a good conversation with Viv yesterday because I'm actually, I'm basically just set up my show for the Glasgow Comedy Festival, 27th and 28th of March. Tickets on sale now from C Tickets.
Shameless plug.
But I'm still banging doors. I see the day I stop banging doors will be the day I stop doing comedy.
Right.
Whenever I see a gig advertised, I'll always try to get in there earlier. And sometimes it's not about first come, first serve. That's what I find that when I book gigs, I feel bad because when I post, say look for people will come on board right away and say, I'm available. And you think, but then I like to kind of take a breath and kind of, because then they might not be suitable for the gig in terms of the lineup, or they might not be suitable for the gig in terms of.
That's another thing with the wrestling crossover. I get that entirely, whereas you can't book 7 monsters or 7 high flyers or 7 women's matches. You've got to have, you know, people come and see the monsters want to kick, or the big muscly guys, or people who want to come and see the wee flippy guys in their masks. You know what I mean? So you've got to have balance in your whole show.
I agree.
The fact that I've got to keep doing this for another 10 years, I'll be fucking taking 10 years.
No, but I think you can tell. I mean, I think you can tell people who do start and do take as a hobby, and you can tell the ones. I remember when Stuart Mitchell first started. I remember I think Stuart started a couple of years after me, and right for the off, I remember looking at Stuart and thinking, this boy's driven. I mean, this boy's ambitious, and I think you see that in people. You definitely see it in a lot of people who, when they first start, you think this guy's. I mean, he's going to work hard at his craft.
Right.
And it takes that, like most things in life, and there's nothing worse than seeing somebody who come right in and they expect everything. You know what I mean? You don't get anything for nothing in this game. Like most things, you need to work hard, you need to earn it. And for me, that's the biggest thing for me. It's like people who are almost like kind of entitled and think they deserve gigs, whereas you don't. Nobody deserves anything. I'm still chasing. Okay, let's talk about you, mate, because you done a show this week, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Or was it last week? Was it this week?
It was last week.
So we spoke about it on previous pods about, tell us about it.
Aye, it was up at the Victoria Halls in Helensburgh. Did The Wedding Singer, the good old musical. I played the lead, and I'm still exhausted.
You still shattered?
I'm still shattered, man.
How was the crowds?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so good. The first night was a bit quiet, and the matinee was quieter, but the rest of the shows, I mean, the Friday night was pretty much a sellout, and then every other show kind of, yeah, the seats got filled in the end. Slow started to sell, but then it kind of got there in the end. But it was good. It was so good. Big shout to the cast and the crew who were amazing, and yeah.
Who was the best at it, do you think?
Me.
Apart from you.
Goes without saying that.
Apart from you. No, I'm not
No. You know what? The lassie who did the choreography really made the show.
Oh, good. It's good that people kind of behind the
Aye,
scenes
yeah.
get checked as well.
It's amazing how everyone has their own job, and then when it comes together, it's just like this big machine that just kind of comes together and just works perfectly. And but yeah, the girl who did the choreography, she was actually ended up being in the show as well. She just brought everything to life.
And Lainey was in the show. Who
And
works at the
Lainey,
door
yeah,
here.
Lainey works
She does the
the
door.
here.
Lainey was in it as
She
well.
was in it as well.
Was she any good? We'll sell her.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
There you go, Lainey. Kyle said you were good.
She was the bad haircut lady who I had to say she
Typecast.
Oh, I say she's got a bad haircut.
Good. So what's next the pipeline for the Kyle Roadshow?
Oh, I don't know. Nothing just now. One show done, and relax, and then see what the next project takes me on.
What about the Savoy? Are they doing any more shows? Doing a Christmas
They'll be
show?
doing. They don't do the Christmas show. They do like a spring show, and then they'll do the start in the process of next year's show, which is We Will Rock You.
Oh, I love it, mate. So I'm going to talk about our next show first, then we're going to move on with a couple more questions. So the show we're doing here again is on the 28th of November. Unfortunately, we had to cancel the last show, which was a shame because apparently we had a few guys showing up, a couple of people who travelled all the way from Dumbarton, I don't know, travelled all the way from the next town up to come, and we had to cancel it due to a few technical issues. So next show we've got Cal Halbert, who is headlining. Cal is on Britain's Got Talent. He's an impressionist. He is Jamie and Scott. Have you worked with Cal before? He's a great act. He does a thing like I think it's like a rapid impression. He does like I don't know how many it is in like a minute, but he rattles through all different impersonations. So something different. Again, we've had magicians, comedy magicians, and Chris. We've had musical acts, and now we've got this guy who is a brilliant act all the way from Newcastle, Cal Halbert. Check out his website. He's always gigging. We've got Mick McNeil, who is a brilliant up-and-coming act. He's he's the opener, but he's well established himself. I think he's supporting Connor Burns just now on his tour as well. So Connor Burns is doing massive things, which is good to see. Connor's worked very hard as well to get where he is. Vanessa Correa, she was meant to be on the last show and the one we had to cancel. And I've seen Vanessa once or twice. She's very kind of deadpan one-liner.
She was on that kids show I done on Saturday. She is very good.
She is very good. Right. She's very good. And local lad Connor O'Neill, who just won't fucking go away. But Connor's one of these guys. He keeps on banging the door and saying, "When's the next gig? When's the next gig in Hillsborough? Can I go on?" And if you bring at least 40 people with you, I'm going to get you on, mate.
I know, we did the first night. To be fair to him, that's kind of his claim to fame just now. It's like, yeah, I sold out that crowd. It's like, aye,
you know what?
All your pals.
And do you know what? I actually see the guy getting better, and every time he's been on, he's getting better. But he's one of these guys. Connor's a good act, but I think he has to expand his horizons a wee bit because I think he's only doing gigs down this way. So we need to get that.
Well, he's done a few in Glasgow.
Oh, is he?
So he's actively trying to push it. So
in the Tenants Bar and stuff.
I believe so.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, he's done a few kind of open nights and stuff.
Nice. So. Pete, we need to get you down here soon as well, mate. We'll get you
down.
Aye. Maybe get you down the December one, actually. Come down and do 10 minutes in December.
Fantastic. Look forward to it.
I think it's going to be the 18th of December. What's next for you?
I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks because I'm old and I can date that kind of shit.
Comedy wise, let's keep it
comedy wise. I've got a couple of shows at next year's comedy festival,
Glasgow.
Yeah, the first one is called People, Great Idea, Poorly Executed. It's sold out.
Is that with Darwinism by any chance? No?
It's a wee bit of being old enough to have seen enough. You know, you all see these film tropes where I've come from the future to tell you you're all fucked. Yeah. I've came to the past and you're still all fucked. So there's a wee bit of that. There's a wee bit of like the.
Where's that one? Where's that one? Tell us.
It's at the Van Winkle. It's
sold out.
It's sold out. I've got another show. It's an improv show called God Complex, which I know is very similar. Well, the Complex, a bit similar to yours, which is going to be an improv show. People turn up. You've got one opportunity to ask God a question.
Right.
So you'll write it down, they'll all go in a bag, and then I'll go through them and answer on his behalf. So that'll either be genius or an absolute dumpster fire.
So I've noticed that a lot of acts are now doing kind of crowd work shows. In terms of like their full show, it's got to be crowd work. Now that's something I do a lot of when I'm doing comedy, when I'm doing hosting. I do a lot of crowd work. I speak to people and all that. I've seen a lot of acts kind of recently do crowd work. So the idea that I'm doing for my show is I'm doing half and half. I'm going to do half of, or like 40 minutes of brand new material and then 20 minutes of crowd work, which I guess I do mostly, but that seems to be the kind of on vogue thing now. People doing crowd work shows.
So, and again, I'm going to reach back into the wrestling bag and pull this out. TV killed wrestling because once you do a match, so you and me have a match, we plan it out, spend hours rehearsing it. Once it's been on telly, we can't do that match again because I've seen it.
Yep.
It's a bit like your comedy set. You've got your set and you rely on that 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever, to be able to go in front of different audiences and do that. If you do crowd work, that's disposable. So that's the stuff you can record and then use for the socials.
Oh, exactly, man. I
You
see
get rid of it.
I see so many people doing that, but I think it's because, as I say, it is kind of on trend just now. People doing crowd work, and I guess there is that argument as well. Is it easier doing crowd work than writing an hour show, or because sometimes keeping an audience engaged for an hour can be quite a hard thing to do as well. So it is like almost like a kind of compare skill. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's two different skills. I think you're absolutely right. It's two different skill sets. You've got that, be able to ask the question, get the reaction, and then feed off that and make it match. Or you need to have that writing skill of being able to tell a story, even if it is a comedic story, over an hour. You know, and I'd take them through all the different parts of the narrative journey. I can't believe I've just said that out loud.
So where do you see yourself in say, let's say 5 year? 5 year. What's the dream for the Pirate King?
So I've got the impossible dream. I'd love to do Taskmaster.
Right.
Because I find that hugely funny, and I having seen some of the people on it who are hugely funny, when it comes to real life applications, some of them are a bit, they maybe need to have a word with ourselves. I'd like to be, I mean, I'm doing all right the new way, because I've managed in the fairly short time, and I know that I've been fairly sort of lucky to do so. I've managed to sort of transition. I'm getting more opener spots. I'm getting a few hosting spots, doing some stuff like corporate stuff. You know,
Is that where you see yourself going down? A kind of being a host, being an MC going forward?
originally when I came out, I thought I'm quite. You know, again, there was that sort of.
You take Rob's job.
No, absolutely not. No, with the day job, I do sort of some public speaking and some sort of.
All right, what's your day job? Tell us about your day job.
Well, that's a whole different episode. No, but again, but that's more serious. You know, talky, pointy.
Right.
So those kind of skills are there, and then the comedy stuff kind of hopefully meshes in with it. But now that I've been starting, as much as I've enjoyed doing the 5s and the 10s, I'm enjoying the 15s and the 20s, and it's the long form, the telling stories and stuff like that. And the Glasgow Festival and the Fringe is brilliant because you get that opportunity to do a bit more.
They're good platforms for kind of expressing yourself, I guess.
And this is almost an exclusive. I am doing a tour next year.
How are you?
Oh, that's exciting.
Where you
Going
going?
from Elgin down to London, and
Comedy tour.
aye.
Oh, nice
So
one.
Elgin,
Just boozing tour.
just jumping in your motor and just drive.
Elgin, Inverness, Perth, couple in Glasgow, couple in Edinburgh.
You got venues and stuff booked?
That's what I'm saying. It's all
Right, okay,
in the
the process,
process. So
okay.
I've got venues identified, and I've got partners I'm working with in those areas, and then down to Coventry, Birmingham, and then a couple of nights in London.
So that's 2026.
2026. So it'll be the show, the people, the idea poorly executed.
Right. So is this a work in
That's-
progress we're seeing then just now?
Um,
The show in Glasgow this year, or is that?
I would like
polished?
it to. Well, it will be the first time I've said it all out loud at the one time in front of an audience.
So work in progress.
So
essentially.
as I said, I'm not calling it a work in progress. I'm not going to sit there with a notepad. It's that professional. I want to be able to go up there and do it. And then obviously that will be the reaction to that, or the feedback from that will then dictate any tweaks or changes that get made for the tour.
Okay.
But do you know what? I'm still enjoying it, and I'd like to do. And I do it maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Aye.
Also do some comedy. No, but I'd like to. I'd like to be more. I'd like to get more opener spots and longer.
Aye. Just the
Something
number.
like that.
There's a dog in or not.
Doug's in.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Right, I'm going to ask you a few quick fire questions then.
Go for it.
Right, here we go. I'm just going to ask you a few quick fire questions, right? If you had to make it big in comedy or wrestling in an ideal world, what would it be?
Comedy, it's no say.
No say. Okay. If your house was on fire, because we had a fire alarm earlier, right? If your house was on fire, what's the first thing you'd rescue? Not a person, but what's the first thing you would rescue? An item and what's the
This is
word
a quick
for?
fire question, isn't it?
This is a quick fire.
What item would you rescue for your house?
I have a drawing of Batman by Bob Kane, which I was
that?
very lucky to get. Well, it's a sketch of Bob Kane on one of the Twin Towers. Now, Bob Kane's not about any more. The Twin Towers I know about, but Batman is, and it's probably worth a few bob. So that, if it wasn't my wife and my daughter, I'd probably
It's not an item.
that would be the first thing to walk.
Clip that. Okay.
What's your favourite Doug? Since we heard of Doug.
Favorite type of dog?
Boxer.
What's it? Oh, nice.
So that's okay. Quick fire question again. Would you rather have your leg bitten off by a shark or licked off by a puppy?
Like to have a puppy because I'd probably be dead by the time it was
Aye,
finished.
that's true. It's like eating one of the Solera ice lollies, I guess, isn't it? Okay. Favorite holiday destination?
America.
Which part?
If I'm going with the family, Florida. If I'm going myself, Texas.
Or Thailand? Well, listen, Texas is on my bucket list. What part
I
of
didn't
Texas?
know Thailand was in America. Dallas, Fort Worth.
You ever been to Austin? Mm-hmm. I want to go to Austin. I want to go to the Mothership Comedy Club. Got to put this out to the world. The Mothership Comedy Club on 6th Street in Austin, Texas, where they do Kill Tony. I'd love to go and get my name pulled out of the bucket at Kill Tony, maybe. Tag Joe Rogan in this. Do it, mate, the Joe Rogan
They'll
experience.
fly you out. All expenses paid, I'm sure.
That's it, okay.
He will be on the next podcast.
Favourite food after a gig,
Probably Chinese.
specifically?
Oh, Malaysian duck fried rice.
Oh,
Okay.
that's very, very specific. Cars or bikes?
Bikes.
What's the last item of clothing you bought?
A pair of Hey Dude shoes from Aldi's.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
Baldness, is it...
By,
Is it
it's
by
by
choice?
choice. It was by hereditary, and then there came a point where I thought, I'm not combing shit anywhere. I'm not using pastes or liquids or sticky stuff. So just, I think I was young. I was like 22, 23.
Yeah.
But I just made the choice. I thought, I'm not,
There
I'm
you
not
go, Rob.
marshalling this. I just
You're by choice, right?
I'm by choice, 100%. Not my choice, but it's my choice. Biggest regret in your professional career so far?
when I was at high school, I had the opportunity to go to America on a scholarship to throw the discus. I never went. It probably saved my life
Right.
because it was University of Nevada, which is like an hour and a half from Vegas. So I could have been a very young, very pretty corpse by now. But yeah, I think that's probably the regret. I got offered the WWE development contract, but I was married with a kid.
Amazing.
And the money they were offering was less than I make in my day job. So I thought, I'm not uprooting my whole family, and then I have to get a wife, a work visa, and new school and all that. That would have been selfish. But so that's not a regret. It's a kind of
Yeah, what could have happened?
could have happened.
Yeah.
But no, the biggest regret was not going to the States when I was like 17, 18.
Vince McMahon or Triple H? Who's the best?
What, to get hired by or pumped
No,
by?
who's the best? Is it controller for the
Best
wrestler?
booker?
Best booker, you think?
Triple H, probably.
Right.
Because he makes bad decisions, but he's no pumping half the female roster while he's making the bad
Allegedly.
decisions. Allegedly. Oh, no. Aye, yeah.
What would be your dream matchup if it was anything it could be? Any kind of match, any opponent in the big time WWE, what would it be?
Undertaker, surely.
No, you know.
Oh, because
Can he fight his friend?
you know Taker's going to go over. Don't know. Hell in a Cell match against Rob Kane at WrestleMania.
Oh, I love it.
The big red machine.
I know, is that the big Rob machine?
Aye, the boy needs the exposure, you know what I mean?
Too right, mate. Too
Keep
right.
it up.
The big Rob machine.
That's it, mate. Ideal headliner or perfect headliner for you to be gigging with anywhere in the world, anyone.
So, right now or at any time?
Like holistically, who would you love to do a gig with?
Just to say, oh, I supported that guy
Aye.
in this place.
Yeah.
Um,
Name and venue.
my name's just went. He's just went. I can see the guy. It was an '80s American comic. He was on Spider-Man as Gwen Stacy's dad.
It's not Bill. No, it's not.
No, Bill Hicks. It's kind of like the child.
George Carlin? No.
No, it's the next sort of class along for that.
Up the way.
Dennis Leary.
Yeah, yes.
So Dennis
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary, probably. Yeah,
Aye,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's that generation's.
Essentially, it's always essentially took his career and kind of continued it, didn't he?
No, I mean, I grew up watching. There's an Irish comic called Dave Allen.
Oh, I love Dave Allen.
and that's
Sit the stool with the
yeah,
cigarette.
and it's and what's in the glass, vodka, gin,
Aye.
yes,
Aye.
and he brushing the imaginary elk stuff he's thinking, but no, that's my type of humour. It's that dry, aggressive kind of. This is all shit, and this is why it's all shit.
So that's what I was going to ask next. Your biggest influence in comedy would be Dave Allen then?
Dave Allen, Dennis Leary, Carlin, Conley. You can. There's the names that everybody throw up because if you do comedy, you've got that pool that's always going to be there, but it's the ones kind of on the outskirts that maybe nobody's aware of. And again, you've got to be of a certain age to know who Dave Allen was.
Dave Allen was probably one of the kind of most groundbreaking comedians. He kind of took almost Hicks style, but kind of modernised it, and almost kind of made that original kind of anti-comedy. Where I think like Stuart Lee kind of continued as well. I like Stuart Lee stuff as well. I do like a lot of Stuart Lee. Ever watched any Stuart Lee stuff?
I haven't.
Kyle, check him out. Stuart Lee. I mean, what about in terms of sitcom? What kind of sitcom writers would you like?
I'm a bit of a sci-fi nerd, so I like all the kind of the Orville, Red Dwarf, Grant Naylor, and all that.
I like Red Dwarf.
I love the dwarf. See the books, the Red Dwarf books. If you're a big Red Dwarf fan, there's so much. Obviously, the stuff they couldn't afford to put on the screen.
Aye.
But there's all the comedy and all the cracking writing that came along with those
H,
visuals.
the cat and all that kind of.
So that's so a big fan of that kind of stuff. American stuff, I'm not as much. I liked the old school stuff like Cheers and the original version of Frasier because it's
90s
clever.
American sitcoms are good though.
It's clever. It's
Because
not
they still
just-
go today as well, so you can, and they still kind of,
Seinfeld.
still kind of hit home a
things
wee
like
bit.
that.
So yeah, you can still enjoy it today.
no, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Standard monkey barrel. It's a quick fire.
Neither.
Neither. Oh, why not?
Controversial.
Again, it's that age, and I don't have time. I don't. I genuinely, I don't have the time.
Sounds like a cop out, Pete.
No. So right now, I am booked Friday and Saturday, and some Sundays all the way through December.
But if one of them came knocking on your door
What?
at the same time, same night,
And gave me the same money.
same night, same time, same money, what one would you choose?
Sad.
Okay.
No, but again, that's right now. I'm enjoying the intense.
Edinburgh, Glasgow stand. Or Newcastle.
Yeah, that's the thing. Probably Newcastle because I'm right in the middle between. I'm in Bill, so I'm right between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to show favouritism. And I'm in two bike clubs, and one of them's in Glasgow, and one of them's in Edinburgh, and I need to get people to come and see me.
Okay.
So I just go to Newcastle and fuck them all.
Fair enough. Fair point. Any more, Kyle? Quick fires before we finish up.
No.
Hold on. Hold on, Kyle. Thanks for joining in, mate. How's nice?
Sorry, mate. I couldn't think of
Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, let's talk about just last point now.
Right.
Last questions. Film. What films? What's your go-to movie? What could you? If it's on in the background, you'd sit and watch it.
7.
7.
Yep.
Oh, great.
Along Came a Spider, The Bone Man.
Nice.
I read a lot. I used to read a lot when I was younger. I listen to audiobooks now because my eyes are fucked. So I read a lot of those books when I was younger and seeing them in movie form. And I love sci-fi, man. I try and come across as this highbrow intellectual, but
Romero.
I still love
like,
fucking.
is it like Romero stuff or no? Is that more kind of gore, zombie?
My wife's into all that fucking true life murder, how you kill your husband and get away with it and all that shit, which is quite disturbing.
No, fuck all.
But no, I watch that and I can appreciate it. But no, if I'm sitting in the house myself, once I've run out of Pornhub credits.
Uh-huh.
It's usually sci-fi, and it's
Like porn? No.
you're crossing genres. It's,
Anime?
yeah,
I need porn.
if something's green, doesn't matter what planet they're from, you shouldn't be going anywhere near it. But I love all the Marvel. I'm just a big nerd, so it's sci-fi, Marvel, collect comic books, but I used to collect them.
There's a wee bit of the kind of Ming the Merciless about you, isn't there?
Absolutely.
And finally then, Netflix. Last thing you watched on Netflix?
We watched. Is it have to be Netflix or streaming?
Streaming. Have you seen Ed Gein? Have you watched that, the Ed Gein story?
No,
The
no.
wife watched that. It's
wow.
yeah. I remember
watched
him for Sons of Anarchy, and I couldn't.
A lot of people have said that
It
actually.
wasn't
A lot of
matching
people
up
have said
for me.
that.
It was. I thought no. I go Charlie. You let yourself down there.
He was
mate.
brilliant, but he was
He was,
really good.
he was very good
Ed
at
Gein.
both of them.
He was really good.
So last thing we watched on a streaming service was Slow Horses.
Brilliant.
On,
Gary
very
Oldman.
good.
Yep. On.
My
I
friend.
think is it Disney or Apple?
So I'll tell you a link between that. So
Yeah.
a boy, I used to work in East End. I was a community drama worker in East End of Glasgow. A young boy, Brian Vernon, who I taught drama to, and he was in Slow Horses. He's one of the kidnappers.
All right.
And the first couple of episodes, he was one of the kidnappers.
Right.
He was Scottish, but he had a London accent, and he's a brother in Gangs of London as well.
Right.
He's in Gangs of London. He's a gay,
all right,
he's a gay brother in Gangs of London, and he was also in Star Wars. And he was all Brian Verno, yeah.
It's on the Han Solo ship. and
Yes,
the-
aye.
the nuclear,
Yeah, and he was also he's been in so many credits. He was telling me he's in the new Odyssey movie that's coming out, the new Chris Nolan thing.
Right.
Odyssey about the Greeks and stuff. It's coming out next year.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
He's in that as well. And what else was it? What else did I see him popping up in? Can't remember. But I basically taught him. I went in as a drama worker. He was doing his higher drama, and he did the Martin Luther King speech. It was about Refugee Week.